Okay, the rifle. There is no doubt that in shooting the importance of the rifle is increasing, which means when I was a shooter 50 years ago, everybody had more or less the same rifle, and the rifle was more or less in the same shape. The only thing we could change maybe was the length of the stock. Maybe there was a little movement of the cheekpiece, and all the rest was, if you see the picture on the wall on the left side, this is Silvia Sperber. She was the Olympic champion 1988 in, what the hell, somewhere in Asia. And this is a stock she shot with. So it was a one-piece wooden stock, colored as well. You know this old Feinwerkbau.
Yeah.
And you can say that all the shooters had one or two rifles which were more or less the same. At that time the shooter had to fit his body and his position to the rifle. Now we are in the luxury situation that we have rifles which can be adapted to the shooter. So Hanna brought this unbelievable pink rifle, and I think we should start to discuss or to describe the different qualities. Oops, normally it falls down one or two times. This is average. Just to discuss the different functions and qualities of the rifle. So I make a little description before, and whenever you have a question or you think that I'm talking shit, you break me and we can find out. So the heart of every rifle is the barrel, which has the job to transport the pellet most accurate as possible to the target. How long is the rifle inside this? How long is the barrel in this rifle? It starts here. Where does it end? The barrel.
Somewhere here, I think.
Somewhere here, yeah. So it is not 84 centimeters or 70 centimeters. It's just about 50, 60 centimeters. Yeah. Why? What is the reason? Does it make sense? So why do they not make a 75 centimeter barrel? Why do they cut it here? No idea?
No.
So one thing is that just this length makes the better accuracy. So it doesn't get more accurate when you make the barrel longer. And can there be another reason? If we think the shooter is moving, is firing the shot somewhere on an elliptical way, what would be the advantage of a shorter barrel compared to a long one? It's a little bit complicated. So let's imagine the barrel is going like this, and I fire the shot. I want to fire the shot here. I fire it, but it takes a little while until the pellet reaches the muzzle, the end of the barrel. So if the barrel, we fire the shot, the barrel goes here, and if the barrel is short, it will leave here. If the barrel is longer, it will leave here. So the shorter barrel gives me less lost in the last piece of the movement. Is it clear?
Yes.
So it definitely makes sense to get the most short where you still get the normal accuracy. But how about when we have the barrel here, we have the cover of a barrel here, and there we have something like a muscle tube, something which makes it longer and heavier. Why don't we shorten the tube around and the muscle tube as well to this length?
It gives
So
you
the
more
longer the
accuracy.
rifle, the less it will move.
Yeah.
And also we can give, if we have a good follow through, then it will pass through the barrel better. I think in .22 it will matter more because the temperature and everything, but in air rifle I don't know how it will be.
Yeah. So the longer barrel makes the movement slower, and we later we come to the question of balance. But we have a cover of the barrel which slows down the movements because of weight and gravity. For aiming, it is good as well to have the longest possible line, because then you have a more accurate perception of the target. But the barrel is shorter to avoid the last step of the movement. So this is an intelligent system. This is a barrel. The quality of the barrel is, we talked about it. So the better the shots come together, the less we lose. So a good barrel we talked about will be something like 5.5, you reach it. A normal barrel will be something like 6.2, and a bad barrel will be 7.5 or whatever. Where we never can just test the barrel, it's always a combination with the ammunition and the barrel. So this is a very special thing. We have to compare a lot of ammunitions to one barrel to find the perfect combination. So there is no barrel which is good with every ammunition. There is no ammunition which is good with every barrel. Normally it's a question of harmony. So then we have here the tube with the pressure air, which is a really good invention. At those times we loaded the rifles like this, and we took muscle strength to move the pellet. Then we had CO2, which was not so pretty for any reason. And now, since 10 years or something, we have this air compressed technique, which is really beautiful, because we leave the work of transporting the pellet to a compressor. He gives us the energy inside, and we can fire 200 shots or whatever without any muscle power. One important thing, especially for Walter rifles, it's, before I forget, I told it before, but it's very important to bring this cylinder absolutely into the screw holding it. So if we lose the last tenth of a turn, the tube will connect here and will destroy everything. So what I always ask the shooters, when you bring it in or out, sit down. Hast du den schon reingedreht? This was the way you wanted to shoot today. So I can give it another tenth. So if it shoots here 5.5 millimeter, which we hope, here it can be easily 7 millimeters. So a shooter should be always really clear that is totally in. And the only way to do it is to sit down and hold it with 1, 2, 3, 4 contacts. Then you have the best impact on the cylinder. Here you can die in 1 minute. The whole competition will be a disaster. So, how about the pressure? If we make it full, it normally gets 200 times pressure. I don't know the word.
Bars.
Bars, yeah. This is what we say. Is it necessary to fill the cylinder always totally? So if we have 200 bars inside, I think we can do something like 300 shots. But after 300 it will be 85 or whatever. So here the green area goes down to 70 bars. Is it good to shoot in between 170 bars?
I don't think so.
Normally the best is just to fill it. But, oh no, yeah, once upon the time we compared different cylinders and we definitely found that some were better than others. But you don't want to hear the story, no, I don't want to tell it. But we have to be clear that this is a technical system with all the advantage and disadvantage. The advantage is that it makes a nice job without strength. The disadvantage is that every piece of the element can give us problems. So if the cylinder touches the stock or the bridge here, shots will go like hell. If we don't close it carefully, shots will go like hell. Here we have a complicated system which leads the air through the hole and it comes out here and goes forward. We have something which compensates the recoil. All these systems can get trouble. Which means a rifle should be checked every 12 months. If you live in India, where you have a lot of humidity and termites and everything who wants to eat your rifle, maybe even more often, because the circumstances are quite complicated. Every 6 months, yeah. As we get to nowhere land. So we have the trigger. We talked before, and we have the sighting line, which means a diopter with a hole, some filters, a tunnel with a ring, and most shooters use the elevation to come from this kind of position to that kind of position. Sighting length, important or not?
Yes.
So it's a very easy function. The longer it is, the more accurate is the perception of the ring and the circle. Okay, now we come to the interesting points. What is the allowed length of an air rifle system?
85.
85 centimeters. And we measure from, where does the measurement start? Exactly. Starts at the end of the system and ends at, yeah, mother would be here, so the tube here. The tunnel, this is important, may not be longer than the muzzle. I had to shoot a qualified because of 1 millimeter ahead, so it should just be plain here. Most rifles come out with 75 centimeters length. How long is your system?
I don't know.
You don't know. You can bring me a meter. You want a meter?
Yes, I have it.
So we already said the longer it is, the slower it will move. Yeah? If it would be a pistol, it would move like hell. If it would be 10 meters, it would move very slowly.
This must be 74.
You have no idea how long it is.
Must be
Okay, let's
74.
Thank you. 33 inches. It's 84 centimeters. So it's the longest step. There is normally on a Walter rifle, there's 2 chances to set the muzzle tube. And this is the longest session, 1 centimeter. You could go more forward, but this is more or less okay. Okay, the next thing we have is the cheek piece. which means we talked a lot about, and we will get yours fixed one or the other day. Cheek piece means we can go up and down just to find the right point to be in front of the iris. We can go left and right, and we can find the right shape of the cheek piece. So in reality you find 10 different variations. You can check every rifle. We have thin ones, big ones. This one, I think it's not possible to say which cheek piece is the best or the perfect one. Find, try, test until you are happy, and you will never be happy. Most important thing, the change of the cheek piece should be done in seconds. So we talked about this little changes in position. If you feel after 5 shots your point zero is going down or up, you should be able to change your body or your rifle in seconds. This means you fire 10 shots and your eyes was beautiful in front of the iris. The next shot you adjust a little bit lower, which means you would start to move your head upwards. When you move it, it will start to shake, aiming will be bad, and so on. So you should be able to change a little mistake or a little misfeeling in your rifle in seconds. Here you just do this screw and it comes up and down. Can be done. We had Bundesliga today, can be done in Bundesliga easily. Yeah? I think left and right is a little bit a problem with this one. You better get the map. No. Because you have to open, move and fix, but there is better versions in the market. Same story with hook. Up, down, left, right, short, dot, dot, dot. You can change everything. Yeah? Questions about here? The grip is a very individual thing. So we have all more or less a head with a bone to find a place here. We have all more or less a shoulder where we can hide this butt plate. But the grip, the fingers, the hands, show me your hands. You can see the difference. Oh,
Big.
unbelievable. So I have seen hands smaller than from a bird. This is a big one. But there is a boy in Italy, Petpo is his name. He has hands like a tennis racket. I think he can go 2 times around. Which means you all know it. When you feel well on the grip, you touch it and you are there, and the trigger is where you want it, and life is easy. But others, you have a grip, if you take another rifle or if you have the wrong grip, you never find the point where to touch a little bit forward, backward, up and down. So, and if we say that there is about 100 contacts with a grip during competition, and each contact is a procedure of finding the right place to hold, then it's really worth to give some time to find the right grip, the right size. And when you found your grip, you can go forward, backward, turn it up and down, and you can do everything with these new grips. But the secret is not in the most exotic position of the grip. Something, the more I go outside and like this, and the better it will be. The grips are shaped for a stable down position. This is normally the best. If you go away a little bit, it may be necessary, but if you have an extreme position, some turn it like this, and I don't think your shooting gets better. Okay, any question?
For some reason, I'm not able to find which is the right size for my hand. Because for Fernbergbau I had a big one, and I was not happy with it. Now for Walther I've taken a small one. I'm still, because during the shot it just goes out, as in my hands, the fingers go out.
Yeah, upstairs, I think from this grip here, this beautiful pink, we saw Sean yesterday, this was a man who had the grip. From this grip we have, normally you get 3 different sizes, and from this one we have 6 different upstairs. Did you see them? Yeah? So if you go through this 6 grips, you normally find your size. But really happy, a shooter is never really happy. So you always think it could be a little bit better. Now this is what we are living from. Shooter goes to shoot, gets a lousy result, comes here and buys something. Yeah? we give them something. It's like in a church at home, when you have problems, you go to the church, give something to the God. And in shooting, we are this religious function. Shooters come here, pay a little to get a better feeling. Normally results don't get better, but this is the same in church. You give something to the God. Let me say the sun is shining for 6 months. You need rain for your cows. You go to the church, you give 2 boxes of rice, and the next day the sun is still shining. But you do not untrust the God, you just say he needs more rice. You see, this is the sense of religion, and this is how our shop works. So, however,